Welcome to Toy Business Unboxed, your gateway to the secrets of the toy industry. Here's Jason Shea, a toy entrepreneur and expert in the field.
Every product we develop is really inspired by some of the real life experience that we have with our son.
60% of all toys last year were sold on Amazon, which is incredible.
Be passionate about it because it's a road, it's a journey.
Like when you have an idea that you think is like gonna somewhat like change the world, make things better, I'd say go for it.
We'll guide you through the enchanting world of toy design, marketing, and manufacturing. Now let the unboxing begin.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Toy Business Box. Today, we have a special guest, Scott. He is an industry veteran, and he has many different projects, and he's also an industry pioneer who blend technology, storytelling, and marketing to create unforgivable experiences for his customers. And Scott have also revolutionized the Squishland brand and also partnering with Gary Vee with some of the new toy line as well. And thank you so much for being on our show today, Scott.
Thank you for having us. I wouldn't say I'm a pioneer. I'm more of a squishy pioneer more than anything else. What people know me as kind of Mr. Squishy. I love this industry, and I really appreciate the intro and the opportunity to be on the podcast.
Will you mind sharing, because I know you have a very diverse background. It's really hard to squeeze all that into a 30-second intro. So I really want to make sure I give you the opportunity to introduce yourself, talk about all the different projects that you're working on within the toys and game industry.
Like any industry, it has an evolution. If you take the way back time machine, way back to the 90s, I was in virtual and augmented reality back then. Was innovating virtual reality arcade games, really big machines that went into Disney and Six Flags. But that evolution created something in me that I love to entertain. I love to get in front of people, whether through a visual media such as a virtual reality headset or video games on an app. And I really wanted to touch people's lives in different ways. And what better way than to take that evolution from video games to toys? And what's exciting about it is this evolution has had its pitfalls like any industry. You start with these grand visions and you shrink them down. As I shrank these ideas down, they got better and better. And they became Squishland, and they became Vee Friend minis. They became all different brands that people will embrace. And what I realized is we can pack a lot of fun into a small little squish.
I like the tagline. I like the tagline. That's really catchy as well. And you mentioned about VR project that was way back. And besides the VR project, what other project that is very memorable that you have worked on as well your career?
I struggled in school to pay attention. And I think it's hard. I think even this generation struggles in school to pay attention. We've got Facebook, we've got X, which was Twitter, we've got TikTok, we've got all these video games that give us instant gratification. And gosh, in school, it's not always instant gratification. You got to work for it. And I struggled with school. And so throughout my career, I decided to try to embrace some of these struggles and try to help people along their way. I created a company that really didn't do as well as I wanted to. I had high hopes for it. Failures lead to successes. That's how this works. And I love my failures. And the company was called Popar, Popar.
Okay.
The idea was we created books and puzzles and charts that would come to life. Imagine reading a book about dinosaurs.
Yes.
And you want to know more about the Tyrannosaurus Rex. There's two ways to do it. Right now, you could just go on Google, or you could go on ChatGPT and talk about Tyrannosaurus Rexes. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to bring that experience into the classroom or into the kids' rooms.
Yeah.
And so you would take your cell phone and not a QR code, but virtual and augmented reality. You would scan that book with your phone and it would pick up objects on the page, produce them in 3D, and then you can interact with them in your room, in your environment. So melded the world between digital and reality. And that was what we tried to do. And it created engagement with information. It created engagement with what we were trying to produce as information. So it was super exciting. I loved it. We went on QVC. We really tried to pitch it online. Spent about 5 or 6 years really pushing the narrative at the toy festivals and the toy shows. But the difficulty was this. Was it a toy or was it a book? Was it a toy or a puzzle? Was it a toy or a poster? And
Okay.
because I straddled that, it was really hard to find people who would embrace one or the other because I wanted to combine both the technologies. We went to book fairs and they were like, oh, it's too tech oriented. We went to toy fairs and they're like, oh, it's too publishing. Over time, we got into school classrooms across the U.S., but it didn't get the momentum it needed. That's something where I started out, and it was really an impact in the late 90s and early 2000s that we were running POP-R and all that education. I'm not cynical about it at all. I love that evolution because it brought me into toys. It made me realize the lane that I was really good at was entertaining and bringing joy to people.
How does that transition to the work you're working on with the Squishland? Or how do you run across that opportunity or that business altogether?
The great news is this: when you think about toys, even toys today and toys in the past, when you play with a toy, your imagination goes wild. POP-R was just about that. We were taking that imagination and we were bringing it into reality. When I came across, and we were at the New York Toy Fair and the Nuremberg Toy Fairs, I started coming across toys that started to blend physical and digital. I saw a partnership in the physical and digital world that were going on. Sometimes you saw toys jump and go straight to digital, or toys that went from digital to physical. And I realized this was the next generation of play patterns, that we wanted to play with physical and digital together. They needed to meld. I mean, that's how the biggest toy lines came out. G.I. Joe, Transformers. They started out as a cartoon first and became physical, or they became physical and then became a cartoon. There's always a bridge that happened. So I looked for different toys and I looked for different opportunities. And Squishland was one of the best opportunities possible. It were little toys that were exclusively back then sold only in vending machines. And it had a following. We're talking 1 million plus users on squishland.com. I realized the potential of what this could be to take physical and digital. So we brought that into an app on the mobile marketplace. We took Squishland, expanded the regions. We made a plush line for Squishland. We made play sets for Squishland. We brought it into retail, and it just exploded in growth, which was amazing.
Oh, wow.
And it led to a partnership I have with Gary Vee, which is amazing.
I see. Before we talk, of course, I would also love to talk more about the Gary Vee project, but because of your success with Squishland, will you share some few major tips and strategy that you have implemented with a brand that contribute to all the success you have seen over the years?
I think what's important to think about, and most people look at the vending marketplace and dismiss it, and I don't think it needs a dismissal. I think it needs a lot of attention. Imagine this. A vending toy is one of the first toys kids get to choose with their own money. How impactful is that? Mom or dad gives a kid 50 cents, a quarter, $1, because, there's lots of variety. And the kids walk up to the machine. But this is the first time a kid can choose his own toy without mom or dad are saying, oh, we're not going to buy that today, or that's too expensive. The kids get their own choice. And so we activate this collecting mentality within a vending machine. They get to pick their toy. And so we really push the limits of that collecting mentality. So typically a vending toy only lasts, we'll call it 60 seconds, 90 seconds. It's a ring you put on your finger, a bouncing ball that you'll walk out the door of the store and bounce it and then it disappears. But a Squishlander, it can fit on the ends of a pencil. You can squish it. You can erase with it. You can now smell it because it has different scents with it. And then what we added is this collectability. This one Squishlander, let's call it the Squishy Pig, has 6 varieties. So there's 6 different pigs to get. There's a glitter pig, a gold pig, a highly detailed pig, a squabble pig, which is your naughty pig. Colors of the pig, like a pink pig, a purple pig, a black pig, a white pig, a yellow pig. And they come in these variety of colors. So when a kid bends one out and they get the pig, they can look in the machine through those clear capsules and see the variety of colors and go, oh my gosh, I really want the purple pig. I only got the pink pig. And so that collecting mentality then starts. And so what we did in vending, which was unheard of, is we created such variety. So we'll call it the farm region in Squishland. It has 10 characters. Okay. Each character has 6 to 8 varieties.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In that one little box of capsules inside of a vending machine, 250 capsules, there's a variety of animals, 10 animals, 6 to 8 varieties of each animal. So kids go crazy for it because they want to collect them all. And then maybe next month we bring in Amazon and then Outback and then the polar region. And so kids get this variety, the sense of collecting, and it's affordable for them to collect. We've seen such amazing feedback over the years. Now, what blessed my heart in a lot of this process is getting the letters, not just from kids, because kids are great because they're so honest, but getting letters from adults, get schools who use these as incentives.
Yeah.
We've got letters, and this has happened more than once, and that's why I'm going to share it. The people use these toys at weddings. Okay, so rather than throw rice, they throw Squishlanders. Yeah,
That's crazy. Okay.
because their note to me was they bonded over Squishland because they both collected it when they were young, and when they started talking about nostalgic, and this makes you feel really old. When they started talking about nostalgic toys, they were like, "Oh, we both collected Squishland. Do you still have them?" And they shared that, and then they shared with me that they were going to give them away at their wedding. Of course, I donated Squishland to them. And they shared photos of their wedding and everybody playing with the Squishlanders at the reception and at the parties. And that makes me so happy that a toy that is just a simple toy coming out of a vending machine, but now in retail, can bring that much joy as a child and now as an adult. And that's the amazing part. This decade-long toy. And this is a crazy number. Are you ready for this number?
Go ahead. Yeah.
We've sold over 200 million Squishlanders.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's a big number.
That's a big number. Yeah. Oh, that's over how many years?
Over about 10 years.
10 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's still a very gigantic number. Yeah.
So we're growing. Obviously, we have a far ways to go to catch up to Barbie and Hot Wheels. Trust me, we're on the heels. They've got 1 billion, but you know what? Our little squishies are catching up on them. But the idea simply is when you look at toys and you look at the engagement, we've taken the idea of a vending toy and we've brought it into retail. We've taken the idea of a vending toy that only lasts for 90 seconds usually, and we've given it months of life. We've given it life on a pencil. We've given it life on a finger. We've given it life in schools as a trophy, as an incentive, as a play pattern. I'm blessed. I have 2 girls, which are also my focus group, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So if you see sparkle or shine on any of my toys, it's their influence. Always more sparkle, more shine on everything. Everything is more squishy, which is great. They bring them into school and they give me feedback on them. And once in a while, and this is a funny story, once in a while I get a call from the principal at the school.
Yep.
Mr. Jochim, your daughter has brought Squishlanders into school, and now most of the kids have them, and they're trading them. And I'm like, okay, we're going to have to ban them for the week. Okay, good to know. You can have your daughter bring them back in Monday, but if you can sure to bring enough in for everybody. And then the parents will call me and like, hey, Christmas time, where can I when they come to the factory and they pick them up. But I love the fact that I've been banned multiple times in school. That's a fun thing like a resume builder. Have you ever been banned at school as an adult? I have. So
that's a very interesting story. I guess it's too popular. That's why they don't want to.
A distraction. I get it. It's also something that the kids can trade. I remember when I was young, I traded Pog. Now Squishlanders are the new thing. And I think that's really cool that these schools are embracing them. I tried to spin it a little bit saying they can erase as well. So they're pencil pets. They fit on a pencil and you can erase with them as well. So that kind of eases down the toy play pattern on it, makes it more of a utility.
I see. Thank you for sharing that amazing story. That's very interesting. So when you come to marketing for vending machine, which is a very different type of like places, and I think I have interviewed a lot of different toy and game entrepreneur over my podcast. So far, you are one of the first, one I interviewed that specialized in vending machine, which is a very different, I guess, a place to market the product, obviously. So when you are doing some of the, for example, let's just take digital marketing, for example, how are you like doing the marketing to make sure, because it's hard to measure, is because like, how do you translate the marketing effort to how much sales that is actually happening at the vending machine side?
We are very lucky in the vending industry where they trust the vendors in the marketplace. As a manufacturer, I have a distribution marketplace of wholesale accounts.
Yeah.
For instance, let's just take one of my clients, Dollar Tree.
Okay.
There's over 7,000 stores. That's huge. And this is a toy. This is what's cool about vending that most people don't realize. The most prime spot that you can get in retail is what? It's either end cap,
yeah,
or aisle on the checkout. Impulse.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am the ultimate impulse. Why? You see me when you walk in, the vending machine is there, and you see me while you're checking out. And I'm always going to be there. The trend of the latest item that's happening at Christmas or Easter, whatever, that Halloween, that seasonal item that gets rotated,
Yeah.
I'm constant.
Okay.
So
Okay.
how interesting is that as a toy? And when you really focus it on good quality toys, I'm going to be there consistently 12 months, 365 days, every day, entrance and exit. So the marketing is done in a much different way. Yes, we follow trends, but I don't need to advertise the same way most people would. The vending machine is a very balanced ecosystem, which is very fun if you think about it.
Yeah.
You always find maybe some candy or gum, and then you're going to find some jewelry, but then you're going to find the majority of it being toys. And what we realized very early on is we needed to make these toys as appealing as possible.
Yeah.
So what we did was very easy to think about, is we took that capsule that people are used to, wrapped it in full color,
Yeah.
and then you know what we did? We put a UPC label on it and all the warning labels. So guess what? This toy in vending can also be sold at the end cap.
Oh, okay.
So now you take it out of vending
Mhm.
and you put it in a box, and a kid can grab it, they can scan it, and it goes in the bag, and it's still legal and it's safe and it has its all properties. So what we're able to do, which is amazing, is have that marketing both at the front of the store and for the buyer in the store, both have what they're looking for. And in the back here, there's your end cap. Just like a vending machine, this one has 9 different selections, or so this one has 12, which is great. And these just slot right in.
I see.
And so the idea was in regards to how to market, we market through the buyers just like you would at any toy store. They're looking at what the balance of the ecosystem of the vending machine is. And if something's really popular, what they tend to do is take it out of the vending machine and stick it at the end of the counter.
So will you say majority of your revenue is like retail? Sounds like is the biggest pie. How do you translate this kind of product to e-commerce or online sales?
Again, it's a very interesting balance. As a manufacturer, I have to be very careful as not to step on my retailer's toes.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So typically, I don't do a lot online. It's very minimal Amazon online sales. We repackage a lot of our goods for Amazon sales so that it doesn't conflict with what goes on in both the vending marketplace and the retail marketplace. So there's unique SKUs. I would honestly say our online sales is probably 15% given our total market share. But our retail and our wholesale is probably evenly split. And it's interesting. The harder market share is retail because we're fighting tooth and nail with the big companies. We are a novelty item. We are an impulse item. And we're not going to be on the shelf next to Barbie and Hot Wheels. We're going to be next to the candy. We're an impulse item. You want a candy bar and a toy? Great. Grab us. There are terms used in our industry, not the best terms. Some of them are called like shut up toys. You're in line with your parent. And you're like, Mom, I've done it. I've done it myself. Here, honey, just, you can have this. It's $1. But the idea is, how do we take that novelty and then in that toy concept and make it an evolution that something has more value, has more fun with it? We just came up with a cute little toy called Snackins, which I was showing earlier. And we've evolved these capsules now into blank, which are great fun. Right? These are novelty toys for kids who want to be jokesters, which is fun. You know? Or if you want to go really gross, we've got body parts.
Okay.
It's simple. It's simple toys, but for a great play pattern that's very fun for kids to interact with. Male, female, adult, young, we see them all.
I see.
The evolution is this. It starts in vending, and we can test our toys. We can see the throughput. We're getting able to get feedback on our vendors who are out in the marketplace running these vending machines. We can distribute a toy quicker than somebody on retail. We can get numbers quicker than somebody in retail. So we know our trends faster than retail, which is awesome. We know what a slow product is because we'll stick it in the marketplace. And in 60 days, if it hasn't sold out, we realize it's a slow product. We made a mistake. Gosh, it was 2 years ago. We thought llamas were going to be huge. So we made llama toys.
Yeah.
You missed it.
Oh,
Llamas,
really? Okay.
llamas was really quick. Really quick. You miss the mark sometimes, and that's okay. Right now, snacking is going to be cute because it's food, toys that are super squishy, super fun. But, and this is the evolution, like I talked about, the squishy play pattern, the miniature play pattern, whether it's going to be a dollhouse or squishy animals, has always been there. The first, what did kids play with? Take the Wayback Machine even farther back. Dolls. Right?
Yeah.
It's just a miniature version of a human. These are miniature version of animals or cute food items that are made into characters. And so miniature is something that's part of our childhood. It's part of our DNA that we like to play with because we like to imagine us setting up a scene. And some people set scenes, some people play with the scene, some people reenact scenes, but miniatures is part of our life. And it's just how we interpret that miniature. We're on the trend the last decade for squishy. People love that squish, that slow rise, that play pattern, that tactile play pattern. It's not something you can get from a 3D printer. That's something to think about. I can print things on my 3D printer. It's expensive, takes time, but a squish, I can't print squish yet on a 3D printer. I can only get that at retail right now.
I see. And since you mentioned about the collaboration with Gary Vee's toy line, I will also, as much as you can share, obviously, what inspired that project and what made that project unique?
I love Gary Vee and his team. The inspiration of what he's created with his characters and what he's doing with the cartoons, his energy level. I fell in love with Vee Friends and the brand right off the bat. I went to a conference called VeeCon that happened about 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And I looked up on the big monitors and I saw these beautiful characters and I went, these need to be toys. And I pursued it the best I could. I said, who do I talk to? Obviously, I wanted to talk to Gary, but I had to go through the ranks, had to go through the process.
Sure.
And I found some very willing individuals. One gentleman in personality, his name was Adam. And I'll be honest, he was open to embrace the idea and the concept and willing to give me his card. And so I'm just a customer. I'm just a participant and attendee, and I still get a card. And in all honesty, what was super exciting about that is that gave me an address, a home base. And what do I make for a living? Toys. So what do we start to send? Lots of toys. Lots of toys and lots of ideas. And then that rolled in and that evolved into a conversation. And that conversation evolved into me creating a line of toys for Gary that we're going to influence and engage and allow kids to see his vision in a small toy factor and evolve into his vision as what is an adult. We've got such characters in this realm like Gratitude Gorilla. Yes, kids love gorillas, but when they realize it's Gratitude Gorilla and what gratitude means, that gorilla even has more impact. And so as much as I'm in love with Squishland, I feel more in love with his vision and what he wanted to do. He has a megaphone as a speaking platform, and I love it. I know that our brand is beloved, but I would wanted to create something for him that was completely unique, but was very viral, very collectible. And so these brands of toys, I'll bring them over here to the camera in a minute, take off the screen here so we can see it clear. These Vee Friend minis are highly painted collectible characters. That's Creative Crab right there. How cute is that? And this is Cynical Cat. Now, always cynicism. The idea is, you know what? You got to look at things a few different ways to get the right ideas.
Yeah.
You've got such beautifully hand painted, by the way, characters that come out of a vending machine. Now, we did something unique with his line that I love, and I never did, but I brought the entire kitchen sink to his line. You've got glow in the dark characters. You've got bubblegum scented characters.
Oh,
yeah. And they smell like bubblegum. Kids love that. More glow in the dark, the highly painted characters, Goldens, and then glow in the dark diamond sparkle. And all the collectibles that you can get out of a Vee Friends mini vending machine product. Now, he's got over 280 characters. There's only 20 characters here.
Okay.
He's only made 40 of his characters. So we've got about a decade of making characters for Gary Vee coming out. And so these are exciting. They can only be found in a Vee Friends vending machine, which is a big yellow forehead vending machine that says Vee Friends on it. And Again, these toys are only 50 cents. And so we packed quite a punch for Gary, and he wanted even more. And I'm like, you want more? And he released cartoons. And so what's great about these cartoons is how do kids get access? They've got a physical toy. Remember when I first started talking, we talked about that digital physical connection?
Yes. Yeah.
He and I put a code paper, a QR code, flow code,
Okay.
inside each capsule.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And when you get a toy, you also get a link to his cartoon.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
melding that physical and that digital property together, bridging a gap, creating a digital frontier. with a
Yeah, for
frontier,
sure. Yeah.
which is beautiful. It's great vision. And so we're super excited that this is going on. And we just released, and I can talk about it here, which is amazing.
Mhm.
We are now putting metal characters.
Metal characters. Okay.
Yes, solid metal characters. And currently there's the golden Gary Vee chase. It's a typical golden solid metal character that's in gold. Not real gold, but gold plated and in a brass material
Yeah.
inside the machines. And if you find it, it's a huge Willy Wonka style chase. The golden Gary Vee, you find it, there's a code inside that character with that character that you can scan and register it for awesome prizes. So we're taking this idea of squishy characters and bringing it into the real world with real world fun, real world prizes, which is great. And the variety and collectability has never been seen before in vending. Glow in the darks, bubblegum scented, highly painted, glitter, and metal characters. Nothing's ever been done like this. And I could only do it with the vision of Gary and willingness to push the limits of what people can have as an opportunity to get out of a vending toy. That's all. Let's imagine.
Oh, I think I just lost Scott here. You can try to rejoin Scott. We'll make sure we edit it in the post-production. Let's see. Oops. Okay, welcome back. We'll make sure we edit that out. Sorry for the technical difficulty.
For everybody who was live streaming, that was your permission to go get snacks.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll also edit it out for the actual pub. So you're mentioning about the project. It sounds like there's a lot of different additional toy line that you'll be collaborating with Gary Vee. And
it's going to happen for years. It's so exciting to embrace someone who has that long of a vision, who's in it for the long game, who's not just a one and done type of toy line. It's super exciting for us. We've embraced it wholeheartedly here at the firm because we really believe in it. We love seeing the joy in kids' faces. And then on top of it, Gary's impact with his storytelling and his ability to understand that these animals and these characters have much more meaning than just the toy play factor. And I think when we look at the age group, most vending toys are your age grouping between 4 and 11. His spot for introducing people to Vee Friends is right there. We're right in his market, which is fantastic. And so it's a good intro to Vee Friends and his toy line. And I think it's a great introduction and a rollout for what he's gotten. We're excited by it. My kids love the toys.
Yeah, the quality look amazing. Yeah.
The paint quality on these are amazing, that you can get these out of a vending machine for 50 cents. That's unheard of in our marketplace. And you and I briefly, before we went online, were talking about some of the challenges that are coming, whether it be the challenges of higher cost of labor, whether it be the challenges of tariffs that might be on the horizon. All of these have to be embraced, and there are different ways to handle this. And the good news, not really the good news, I don't want to be a cynical cat on this, but the good news on this is we dealt with a lot of this during COVID. So this is going to be nothing new. This is round 2, round 3 for a lot of us toy manufacturers. We just have to figure out the way to embrace it. And there's multiple avenues. Vending, I think, it has the most difficult route of them all. And the reason for that is we're at a fixed price, whereas retail can raise the price. Vending can't. 50 cents is 50 cents. I can't go, oh, it's now 55 cents. No. So I have to either eat the cost and hopefully those tariffs will come down, or the labor will navigate in a different way, or I find a more creative way to manufacture toys. The worst thing I could do is lower the quality. And so I try to do everything but that. I think that's the last choice I have for a lot of things. I'll eat cost to keep the value and the quality high for what we do, because we're known in the industry. The company that we manufacture, we're known in the industry of high quality toys. So I can't lower my standards. We'll take an adage, poke it at a car manufacturer.
Is it still really selling at 50 cents? Because that's incredibly low for the quality of the toy that you have. Because if I go buy one of those, I don't know, have you bought one of those Japanese capsule toys? Those cost a few dollars each.
Yes.
So.
And we are one of the highest quality, lowest cost toys. There's definitely a matrix that happens here. But this is, again, I understand that a kid gets a chance to use his own money. Maybe he saved it up. Maybe he got it for good grades. Maybe mom and dad gave it to him in line. But this is a kid's chance to buy his own toy. And if I give the opportunity for them to buy two, we get more. And that's why I think we've reached that number of 200 million. That's an incredible number to think about in toys of any toy line. If you go and search, and it'd be a fun graphic to pull up, the most popular toys and their sales over the last few years. And though we are not a Barbie or a Hot Wheels, they are a little bit over 1 billion. We're there. We're in a very high number, the 200 million mark, and we're going strong. This is not slowing down.
I see. Thank you for sharing and being very transparent with some of the challenges that you're facing and how you're planning to overcome them. And as well, wrapping up today's interview for the podcast, if you have to share one piece of advice with someone that's getting started in the toys and games industry, what would that be?
Build a passionate groundswell of people who love your toys. Doesn't matter if it's 5, doesn't matter if it's 10, but find people who love your toys. Find super customers and listen to them, because they're going to grow your brand. You don't need millions of followers, though it helps. But finding passionate people who love your brand, embrace them, bring them close, give them swag, t-shirts, plush, free toys, remember their birthday. Build up the groundswell of your audience from the super collectors that you've got. They are the closest people to the team that you're going to build your brand with. So if you're building something, find those super collectors and really embrace them. Make them feel super special, because they're going to help you grow your brand too.
Yeah, that's a wonderful piece of advice. And thank you again for being on the interview. Where is the best place for people to find you online?
I'm spread out, but for right now, you can go on to what previously was Twitter, on X. My name is Scott Jochim, ScottJochim. But most people know me as Mr. Squishy, and that's Mr. Squishy. So please join me either on Twitter. You can find me obviously on LinkedIn and some other accounts, but Twitter and X is where my platform is for one of my toys and designs and creativity.
Yeah, we'll make sure we include that in the show note as well, so people can find you. And for our listeners, thank you again for tuning in to this episode of Toy Business Unboxed podcast. We really hope you have enjoyed the conversation and find it insightful and inspiring. If you like what you have heard, make sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. We really appreciate your support and would love it if you can leave us a review and share the podcast with your friend and colleague. For more resource tips and the latest update within the toys and game industry, visit our website at toy-launch.com, join the conversation and connect with us on social media using hashtag #ToyBusinessUnboxed. We'd love to hear your feedback and also suggestion for future episodes. Until next time, keep innovating, keep creating, and keep bringing joy to toys. This is Jason Shea signing off on the Toy Business Unboxed podcast. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much, everyone.